We would have had food and drinks and fellowship amongst
Kay
each
has
other.
the best candy in the world in her spot. Listen, I would come in there,
Like the
sit down,
church
put a voice
lady.
next to the window, and just like, yeah, girl.
Yeah, can't have that no more.
Yeah, those
We can't
days,
have nothing. We can't have
unfortunately.
a coffee bar no more. We can't
Yeah.
have. Yeah, it has really changed how we care for our clients.
And has it changed how you conduct business, so to speak?
Well, not really, because I usually kind of like used to just, other than, because all my clients usually make appointments online. I work solo, so I used to try to manage maybe two customers at a time. So now
Hmm.
we're down to one. I think of everything, it has just messed up our social activities. And food was a very food was
Yeah,
part of Hairskay. And
yeah,
so we would, like all the orderings that we used to do, can't do that no more. We can't have those. Let's try what we're gonna eat today. Let's try some
yeah,
Indian, and we
yeah.
try these things and we discuss what we like. So those things change. That whole togetherness has changed. Um, I would say that's about it. The work, because now we're on this restriction, we
Hmm.
don't have as much time to fellowship the way we used to as well.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
That's a good word for it, fellowship. Do you
Yeah.
think that will you get to the stage of asking people for their vaccination card, or will you kind of let the state dictate?
Um, I
Because you
think I
take
would. I think
temperatures, you
yeah, we
that's
do
mandated by the state,
by the
right?
state. Yeah, but I think you don't want to really add an additional pressure to anyone,
Mm,
because some people, like, okay, so one of my clients, she told me, she's like, I hope when you get the opportunity to take the vaccine that you take it. And I was like, no, I ain't taking it. My child went to Tuskegee. I see that building, you know how I'm talking,
right,
mad
right,
smack, right? And
right.
then she says to me, okay, so here, because she's a nurse and she deals with COVID patients, and she says, listen here, you're gonna take this vaccine, and if a foot grows in the middle of your forehead, you still alive with a foot in the middle of your forehead, okay? And I says, well, if you're gonna put it like that, so it's not really, but that was just her being extra
Yeah, but
for
that was
me.
her way of making a point, right?
Correct. And so if I'm given the opportunity to take it, I will. Um, for me, with my customers, I think I would let the state mandate that, because again, it's a personal choice.
Hmm.
I do, wish for honesty with my clients. So some of my clients who have had COVID, while they were going through, they text me and they tell me, listen, I'm going through the process. And then my argument to them is, make sure you still stay hydrated, because
Yeah.
it's going to affect your hair and, stuff like that. So it's a new process. It's a new moment in time. We really don't know what is happening, and
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
just, to add on that, to say to customers, yeah, you got to have your vaccination card before you can walk through the doors. I don't think I'm there yet.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. All right.
Unless we're
Because
traveling now, it's totally different.
yeah, and like I said, you do take temperatures, you do
Yeah.
temperature checks, which cuts down on a lot of mess.
Yeah,
A
but
lot of
but then again, even with the temperature, I mean, that's also relative, right? Because you have some people who don't show any symptoms and
right,
whatever,
right.
so you at all times just have to protect yourself, right? And in protecting yourself, you're protecting others.
Correct.
And so my responsibility is to me to make sure I'm okay, and I'm sure that my customers, because they value me and they know that I'm a solo stylist, they wouldn't
Hmm.
bring that to me either. So,
But your customer base really respects you, you know.
yeah.
And
And I respect them too.
yeah, yeah. But you are also we touched on it a little bit earlier, but you're also the touchstone for the Jamaican community in New Haven. I mean, all things Jamaican run through Kay.
Girl, how you know? You
We
know.
know that.
Yes. So
So,
I am one of the co-founders of the Jamaican American Connection. We're 10 years old.
wow,
And
really? I
we
didn't
did,
even
girl, we
started
did.
talking about it.
Yes, and
Oh
so
my
this,
goodness, it's
so
been 10
la
years, Kay.
yes, and so last year, 20, well, we on our 11th year now, but 2020 was gonna be our big shindig,
Yeah,
we were gonna
yeah.
bring up Miss World 1993, and we were gonna have this, you know, you know, this big thing, and then COVID came, and then
Soiree, a fabulous Caribbean party.
yes, at the Omni. So
Yes.
so anyway, so that's it. I mean, I am very proud of my Jamaicanness and my heritage, and the fact that I've
Yes,
lived
you
there
are.
21 years. I am a true Jamaican. Some will say I am too Jamaican, but
How
it
can you
is what
be
it is.
Jamaican?
I
I
have
mean,
no
if you're
idea, child.
Jamaican,
I've
you're
heard it.
Jamaican.
I'm
I mean,
Jamaican.
but you do the Jamaican American connection. You had Caribbean Day at City Hall.
So
You
so
do
we
the
do the Caribbean,
festival.
right? So we do the Caribbean festival because again, a lot of people think that if you come from the Caribbean, you come from Jamaica, and no, there's a whole bunch of other islands. And so yes, I so we do the Caribbean festival as well, and so this way we teach, we learn, and we share, right? Because a lot of us have children here who are first generation, and so this is a way for our heritage to our culture to continue and teach and learn because with the Caribbean is the Caribbean story is very intertwined in the American, especially the African American story. Shirley Chisholm, first black woman
Hmm.
to run for president.
President.
Family was from Barbados and Guyana, right? So now we have the first black vice president whose father happened to come from Jamaica. So she stands on the shoulder of Shirley Chisholm. Um, the other day, when it was the Delta's Founders Day, there was a picture of Yvette Clarke in Congress in her full red attire. She's of Jamaican descent as well. Well, actually, she's first generation. Um,
Mm,
so Stokely Carmichael, who was from Trinidad, he was a part of the Black Panthers. So there's one of the things that we recognize as members of the Caribbean African diaspora is that while we're here, we wear two hats, right? So we're African Americans.
mhm.
So when you see us, that's who you see.
That's what you associate.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you see us coming, you're like, yep, there goes them black people, right? But then when we open our mouths is when you realize
Right. It's a
that
different story.
it's a different story, but it's still the same black story, right?
Hmm.
And we are more the same than we are different.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
when I migrated to this country, majority of the women that held my hand were African American women, and they basically taught me. They took care of me, and they showed me. They wrote my job reference. You can't get no job. You're immigrants. You just come here. Stuff like that. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like we are our sisters, brothers, keepers. No matter where in the world you are, we are all descendants from the motherland. And now we're here.
Same ship, different stops.
That's it. That's it.
That is really it.
That's it. You
That
know.
is really it. Yeah.
When you look at sometimes when you look at um the foods we eat, okay. Yeah, the
Hmm.
foods we eat, they're very similar. African Americans, Jamaicans, we like stews. Hey,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
We also love bread.
We eat our greens.
We eat our greens. We overkill it by cooking it, though. Like we overcook every darn thing because we gotta cook it till it's dead. But nonetheless, it's the same thing.
We have that in common.
We have that in common. Um, there's a connection between Louisiana and Haiti.
Yes, big
There's
one.
just a big one. So there's just all these different um others that are still the same, right? And I think sometimes if it's through dialogue and fellowship that we really and truly realize how much we have in common. And I think
Our
that's what
human
I think that's
connection.
correct. And I think that's what the salon does. The salon
Hmm.
helps to break down those barriers, the barriers that is put in place for such a long time that sometimes we hold on to it in our heads and we carry it. It's like carrying something, but why are we carrying it? We don't know.
We don't know. A lot of
But
people don't know. They just
right.
know that that's what they're used to, and people are afraid of change sometimes.
And so yeah, yep.
Because they don't know what to expect.
Correct. And if we don't speak, we don't know. We sit there and
Right.
assume, and we don't know what assume mean.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let me get this break in.
sure.
All right. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about your fabulous space on
Months.
Munson. And
Yes.
then we're going to talk about some of the creative things that you've been up to since the pandemic.
Yes, ma'am.
My guest is the fabulous Karaine Holness. She is the owner proprietor of Hair's K in New Haven. And you're listening to The Collective right here on WSME Enlightenment Radio. Back from the break with the one and only Karaine Holness.
That's
She
me.
is the owner and proprietor of Harris K in New Haven. And now you've had two shops,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
Because you were over on Blake Street the first time you
Yes.
opened.
For 23 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And how was that, Kay? I mean, you were young.
Yes, girl. Now I'm so old.
you were young. You were excited. And then you
Yes.
decided, oh,
Oh, enough.
I'll hold on to my spot. And it became,
Hairski Academy.
yes,
Um, it became Sisters Jamming. It
yes,
became,
which we'll talk about in a minute.
and it became the Jamaican American Connection headquarters. Yes.
So after being on Blake Street for 20 years at least,
No, 22, because we moved in our
22,
23rd years. Mhm.
you popped up on social media and said, I've got a
I'm moving.
surprise.
Yes, I'm
I'm going to tell you
moving.
when it's ready. I'll let you
Mhm.
know. So everybody's talking about, well, what's Kate doing? She can't be doing anything else.
Because she does everything.
She does everything already. So what is this? And then I remember very distinctly seeing the tiles to the floor. I
Hmm.
think for me, that was the first thing I saw on social media. And I said, okay, so she getting the floors changed. Big deal. Yeah, what, Kay? But then you came up with this fabulous space. Now, for folks from New Haven, you have to know, and you probably already do, that Kay's new salon is the old Cardinals Club.
That's right.
And after it languished, after the Cardinals closed, there was a bakery for a hot
Right.
second.
Hmm.
I think G something bakery.
Yes. G
And then,
Cafe.
yes. And then Kay came in.
Hmm.
And so one of the things that's very distinctive about this particular spot are the doors. Can you
The
give
barn
me a little,
doors.
yes, can you give me a little story about the barn doors?
Well, the barn doors were actually what drew me to the space because I thought they were fabulous. They were just gorgeous. And I think, so let's go a little bit back up a little bit about the space. The space was actually found by a very good friend of mine, Jackie. And
Hmm.
again, the barn doors was what drew her to the
To
space.
the space.
So when she took me there and she's like, look at your new salon, all I saw first was the barn doors. I was like, yes, I can see me here. And it was just the perfect size. Um, it was me. It was for the next stage of my life. So it was perfect. It was perfect. So yes.
And
And
it's very colorful.
the
It's
window,
very inviting. It's got lots of natural light.
yes. And my plants love it. So if you're driving by, most people don't think it's a beauty salon because I have so many plants in the window.
Yeah. A lot of people say, what is that?
What is that? Yeah, because I don't do having I have nothing in the window that says it's a beauty salon. My sign just says HK because that was my more mature sign now,
Hmm.
because I was becoming a grown up kind of thing. And so yeah, I like that. I really like that space. I'm going, like I said, I'm going into my fourth year, so I have a decision to make because I signed a 5-year lease. So I need to decide: is this it,
Hmm.
or am I going to renew? But I don't know yet. COVID is making it very difficult,
Hmm.
and so I don't know. I don't really. I'm at a crossroads as to what it is that I want to do. If I want
Wow.
to continue, or do I stay there? Do I go even smaller?
Hmm.
So I don't know. I really don't know, Michelle. So I think this is one of the times when I really have no idea what it is that I want to do.
And that's interesting because you're not that type of person. You're very decisive.
Yes, but on this one, woo, child.
Yeah, well, you got a lot of factors. This
Hmm.
pandemic has changed everybody's perspective. No
Correct.
matter what you're doing, everybody's
Yeah.
perspective is changed. Be it life, be it business, be it
Hmm.
children, be it, how you take care of yourself and other people.
Correct.
It has done a reset for a lot of people. So, me personally, as one of your sometimes semi clients,
Yeah, I have some of those. Still love y'all though.
yeah, me, I hope that you at least remain another year and give it
Yeah.
things time to turn
Try
around.
to turn around. But
Yeah,
I still have another year, but I still have to make a decision
yeah,
based on my lease.
yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see.
We'll
We'll
see.
see. We'll
And
see.
Kate, now I was thinking, I don't remember the year that we met, but
Don't
I
ask
know
me,
where
child.
we met.
Where we met, page one.
Yes. You came in your little coat with your little bob, face all
Oh,
made up.
that's
I was
right.
like, what? And then Ozzy introduced us because Ozzy and I used to have these serious conversations. Was I doing electric drum then? I don't remember. But we hit it off.
Hmm.
And that's when I discovered that you were a hairdresser.
And Ozzy's favorite daughter-in-law.
Yes. And
Wait.
Ozzy's favorite daughter in law.
Hmm.
And you got to give Ozzy's business a plug.
Tropical delights.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
right. The best. The best. You know what? I will say that they have the freshest beef patties in New Haven.
Well, that's where everybody
Bec-
goes to get your
that's,
beef
I know.
patty.
That's why I was telling them because she bakes throughout the day. She
Yeah.
doesn't buy them already baked and warm up. This ain't that
Yes.
corner store that you get them warm up in a microwave.
Right. Right.
That is
No,
not how
she
we
does
make
them.
our patties, guys.
You
Gotta go in
go
the
and
oven.
you get your soda
Mm-hmm.
and your
Patty
beef
and
patty.
cocoa, and don't forget the cocoa bread.
Yes. Oh my
Just
goodness.
double carbs, but hey,
Yeah, I was going to say fat girl heaven.
hey.
So I
So,
know.
girl, I know.
I
So
know
yeah,
you know. Because those are your in-laws. So I know you know.
there's days when I'm like, can you please just send me a patty and cocoa bread? And my mother-in-law, she was like, okay.
She's
Yeah.
very sweet. She's very sweet. Your in-laws are very
Well, I
sweet.
mean, I will say that I've been married to their son for over 30, gosh, how many years are we married? Almost 34 years, 34, 35 years, something
Wow.
like that.
You were a mere teenager.
I got married at 19.
That's what they used to do back in the day,
Back
Kay.
in the day, girl, because I
Oof.
couldn't see none of my kids getting married at 19.
I can't see myself being married at 19.
You know what? Because I got married at 19, and that's the only thing I know.
Mm-hmm.
So,
It's
so yeah, I got
different.
married at 19. Yeah.
It's different.
So I don't know
So
any other way.
tell me about how we got to the tables.
How did we get
Because
to the tables?
because you, since this pandemic,
I've
have
been
come
doing.
out with some very creative and beautiful artwork, which is
Well,
why you're my
thank you.
first guest for the month of February, because we talking art.
Oh,
So I had to do all the other stuff so we could
okay.
get to this point. So
Michelle, I think it started because I was painting the salon. So after the pandemic, I I could not stay home with my family. I am sorry. It Because I was so accustomed to leaving the house,
yes.
I couldn't like it. The first couple of days was fine. After that, I was like, I'm out. And I went to the salon and I basically broke the salon down. Like all the cabinets, everything was out in the middle of the store,
Mm,
just, a total revamping, cleaning, and so on and so forth. And then I'm sitting there just looking at my cabinets behind my wash area, and they were still wood because in the salon we have those shiplap
yeah.
wood that was done by the kids from Riverside High School. And I'm looking at them, and I wasn't going to change them because it went with the woodwork that they had done, and I didn't want to interrupt that. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at them going, when we get out of this, we're going to need some color in our lives. Like, there's absolutely no way we can come to this, like
Right. Right.
muted space anymore. And for me, color is so exciting, and you know, so I said, yeah, let me go bring in my little, because the salon before on Fifth Street was very bright. We had
Yes,
the
it
big,
was.
like the sun,
Yes.
the yellow sunshine, because I have to have
Uh,
some yellow up in there.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
gotta have the
Lots
blue
of
to
lots of
represent the
brightness,
ocean. Yes,
sunny
honey.
ocean,
Hmm.
all of that. Yes.
We always on a vacation. So I started off with the cabinets. And then after I did the cabinets, I was like, okay, so now we gotta tie in. And then I had these tables. So I started painting the tables in the salon. So all my little tables got painted, to tie the room together. And then I one of my customers in the middle of pandemic bought her first home, and I wanted to give her a gift. Young Jamaican couple, and who have overcome so much, right?
Mm,
And so I wanted to give her something, because not only did she buy her house, she had just finished nursing school, like so as a
yeah.
as cheerleader. Yes, she did it, and I wanted to give her something for her home that was representing her culture, and
Mm-hmm.
so I made my first Lazy Susan.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I did for her. So I'm looking at the Lazy Susan going, this could be a nice table, right? And so my next one that I did became a table. And it wasn't for anyone basically else. It was just for me to just have something else to do
Now,
and
was
drive
that
my husband
before
crazy.
or after you posted the table on social media? Because there was a
No,
table,
I posted a table. I didn't post her gift.
right? But you posted a table.
Yes. And the
and
table was
in the colors of your
the
native country.
correct, because I decided that I was going to do everything with a green, yellow, and black. Because I could. And so I didn't post her the thing that I made for her until months later.
Yeah, yeah.
But so I did the table, and then I just decided, I said, just try other things, just to deal with. It's a getaway. Like, art helps you to settle your mind. I didn't want to be in a dark place or dark space, and Cancerians, we always like woo,
Yeah,
right?
we
And
can
so once we go
do a walk.
woo, we can drop really hard. And I was trying my best not to fall. And
Hmm.
so on Facebook, I belong to like 100 craft groups, and so I was just looking at other people's creative stuff, and just saying, oh, okay, let me just try that. All right, let me just do that. Okay, I got
But you
this.
also have done, and I call it a silhouette for lack of a better term.
The diva wreath.
Yes, those are
Yes.
absolutely fabulous. Now, what inspired that?
A challenge.
Mm.
Yeah, one of my clients saw it on Instagram and go, I bet you can't do this. I was like, I bet you I can.
Ah, and she did.
And yep, and so that was how that started. And so yeah, so I have
And
fun
how
with the
many
things
of
I
those
do.
have you made, Kay? Because every now and then I see somebody posing with one.
Maybe about six.
Hmm.
Yeah, because I do these things, Michelle, mostly for me, or I'll make them for friends. And um, but what has been happening lately? Because you still haven't even seen that bench. I bought this bench and I reupholstered it and stuff, and I sent it to a friend of mine just in text. And next thing I know, she's like, "Okay, can I buy that?" And I was like, "It's really not for sale." And she's like, "But it goes well with what I got in my house." And I'm like, "But it's not for sale." And she says, "Okay, I'm gonna pay you this much for it." And then I said, "Really? Okay, it's for sale." You know. So I do a lot of stuff. Um, so after I finished doing all of those things, and I started to then work on, let's say, as you said before, my house, and I'm looking at my steps, and I said, you know what, I want to do something different. And then so I did that, and then I redid which I still haven't posted. I redid my my half a bath downstairs, and just do things and just keep your mind going. And I even went as far as going to well, I was actually in Joann's shopping
Hmm.
and helping other customers. And the manager says, listen here, might as well you come to work because you're always here, you're always working anyway. So I
You
got me
might
a
as
little
well.
part time, might as well. And so I got me a little part time job at Joann's. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I love the creativeness that other people have and how people look at a piece of fabric and realizing that, you know, we 10 people can look at the same thing and come up with 10 different things to
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
use it.
But isn't that also sort of like a hairdresser,
Yeah.
a stylist, if
mm,
you will?
it's,
Because,
it's
you
still
know,
colors and lines,
right, right.
texture. Yeah.
So there's a similarity in that.
Yes. So yeah, so I enjoy doing that. I enjoy my crafting. My name is the Crafty Yachty.
Yes, I've seen
You know.
that. And now
Yes.
if you go to your web page, you've got all these little different sections for folks to click on. Tell us a little bit about that before we close out. Because I went today and I'm like, huh, Kay's gotten fancy on me. I see the creative, I see Jamaican American, I see, oh my God,
Because I had to realize that I'm more than just one person. And I think I've always kind of like separated everything.
oh.
and people be like, why do you do that? And I'm like, I don't know, because I just don't know how to have everything. I just don't want to seem like I'm overly busy, but you are overly busy.
I was going to say, I don't know why you want to make
so
it say
so so if
seem
you
like.
notice, you have Hairskay, like on Instagram. I have my Hairskay
Yes.
Instagram, and I have my Karaine Holness Instagram, but they
Hmm.
could still be the same.
Yeah, but I
But
think
I try to separate. I try to separate my stuff, but I still, now I'm trying to, now as I move into, is to show the different things that makes me
yeah.
makes me me.
Hmm.
And I love community. I love helping in the community. I love being a catalyst of the community. Even the space that I'm in at the old Cardinals, sometimes I'm like, why didn't they make this a landmark? Because this is a landmark
Hmm.
for the African American community. This was, I don't care if it wasn't the, you know, whatever people may think it is, but it was a really intricate part of the community, because it was
It
also
was
connected to the Winchester gun factory.
right.
And
Right.
so you look at how, because we don't preserve some of the things that we have, the stories have been misplaced. Younger kids don't appreciate what they don't know. And so,
Right.
yeah. So, so when people come in and they're from New Haven, I'm like, yeah, girl, I am in the bar of the Cardinals. Like, this is the bar. So I was told, because I've never been in the Cardinals, but I was
Uh-huh.
told like I was actually in the bar. So, yeah. So
Yes.
I believe in connection. I think it's very important. And yeah, that's it. That's it.
So is Sisters Jamming coming back? Because
Yes.
I have to, now that I don't have any real responsibility to anyone but myself, I think it's time for me to partake.
Of Sisters Jamming.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
time.
I
Tell us
I
what that is, by the way, just brief.
briefly, Sisters Jamming was how I first, when I with my customers, I realized like a lot of my clients did not travel. This is just, we're like 20 years in, right? So I basically realized that a lot of the things that my customers were not able to experience was because they were afraid of some things.
Hmm.
And one of them was traveling and trying something new. And so each time I would go back home, somebody would say, oh, you should have taken me with you. But then I got this book called Sacred Pampering Principles for African American Women. Reading the book, started making my clients read the book, brought the author to New Haven. Bringing the author to New Haven made us realize that, Jesus, we need more than just a couple of hours. We gonna need a whole weekend for this. And this is way before all of, what is happening now, which,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we went to, I said, oh my God, I don't know. We're in New Haven or Connecticut. We could do something like this. And I could only do this back home. So we went to Jamaica. And so we took the author, Debrina Jackson Gandy, to Jamaica, and that started Sisters Jamming. And we have gone every year, and we go usually between June and July. I think now we're gonna stick to July, but probably do more trips, because
Hmm.
responsibilities have changed for a lot of us. Like I don't
Yeah,
have any more babies at home. My
yeah.
youngest is 22, and so now, and one of our very dear sisters, she just passed October 7th.
Mm,
And our last trip, like, I think my very first trip to Jamaica is really to finish something for her
uh-huh.
that I really want to do. Like, yeah. So the women who went to Sisters Jamming in 2017, and that was her last, because she had an exam the following year, and so we would have all gone back to Jamaica
Mm,
for 2020. But again, pandemic, and then or untimely, death. And
Yeah.
so I want to honor her by going back and just love upon her and just finish some of the things that she wanted to do, which was actually to climb the Blue Mountains. But I don't know if I'm going to go all the way up to the top because I'm going to be the same argumentative person I was when I was there. But I'm going to try to go as far as I possibly
As
can
you
go.
possibly can, huh?
Yes,
Well,
but
that's all somebody can ask, right?
right, and but I do want I do want to have some wind chimes placed at the top for her because that was one of
Hmm.
her wish. She wanted to see the sunrise and she wanted to be able to look over and just yeah. So I want to finish that for
You
her.
want to finish that, what she started.
Yeah.
So, Kay, I dare ask, what's next?
I don't know, child. I don't know. I have no idea.
You have no
Cause,
idea.
cause
You
we
just,
also cancers, so we also like spontaneous.
yes, yes,
So
that is
if
very
if
true.
it feels right, then. But right now is just to protect my me.
Hmm.
You know, um, Possibly getting ready to be a true empty nester. So me and my husband without children. Yeah, I think that would be it. Like, hey, it's just me and
That's the ultimate
you.
goal. I know, because I am now trying to readjust because folks came home
Mhm.
and now they're really gone. Like they moved, like
You see
they
what
out
I'm
of state,
saying? Like,
they gone. So
girl,
everybody said, "Oh, aren't you going to be sad?
no.
Maybe in a couple of days, but right now,
You give it days, and girl, it was a couple of hours, child. Come on now. It was a couple of hours, and you're like, yes, freedom. My
the only
job is
thing we
done.
got to move some more furniture for her. So
Oh,
once that gets done, office space, podcast
yes.
space,
Girl, you can decorate it however you want.
decoration.
Yes.
I'm like,
Create your space post children.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I
So
can
that's what's
identify
next for me.
that. I can identify. Yes,
Yes. I want my own
absolutely.
craft room. I don't want to be working in the kitchen no more. I want my own craft space with a door that says crafty yardie. You know.
So, Kay, if anybody wants more information as to how to reach you, give us the web page.
Hairskabeautysalon.com and IG is Hairskay. Facebook is Hairskay Beauty Salon. Or you can just Google me. Hey, Karaine Holness, Hairskay, Sisters Jamming, Hairskay Academy. It shows me up.
You show up,
I show up.
and you do show up. You show up a
Yes.
lot for this community. And if nobody ever says thank you, I will say thank you right now.
Well, you're welcome. But this is what we do though.
That's true.
This is what we
That's true.
do. So thank you too. I mean, the thing about it is we have no choice at all. And it's our time now. We're gonna take care of our community and we continue to take care of our community and raise our babies
Yeah,
and
and keep doing what we do,
keep
right?
doing what we're doing. So hats off to you. I love this new podcast.
Thank you.
And so yeah, much success and
Same to you.
yeah, thank you.
And I'll eventually, when it warms up a little bit, I'll come back and knock on the door and get my temperature taken and hang out
That's
for like
right.
5 minutes
For 5 minutes, child. Well, when it gets warm, we can at least go in the park.
in the park
We
across the
have a
street.
park across the street. Yeah, so that's one of the things I think I want to do. Like find a way for us to gather.
Yeah,
Where we're 6 feet apart outside. Bring a wine, bring a chair. Let's just sit down and just talk crap.
sounds good.
Yep.
Karaine Holness is the owner and proprietor of Hair's K in New Haven. She
Mm-hmm.
is a crafty yardie.
That's
She
me.
is the Jamaican American Connection founder. And she's also the person who puts together annually along with her fabulous committee, which is the same committee that does Make an American Connection,
The New Haven Caribbean
the
Festival.
festival. Yes,
Yes.
yes. So, Kay, once
Yes.
again, thank you so much for being on the collective, and I look forward to you coming back. In fact, next time, maybe Doc will let us put pictures up this time of some of the tables. I have to check in with him.
Okay, that's not a
But
problem.
yeah, next time you bring out artwork, you're gonna hold it up.
Okay, no problem. All right. Talk to you
Thank
later,
you,
Cheryl.
Kay.
Thank
Love it.
you.
Thank you. And
All
this
right.
has been the collective
All
on
right.
smenlightenmentmedia.com, SM Enlightenment Radio, WSME. Always where positivity is the message.